I play Dorian. He is a synthetic. As we can see, even 40 years in the future, the term robot is offensive. So political correctness is still present. I think he is, I like to define him as a reflection of the humanity that we all take for granted. He seeks the humanity that we all take for granted. He operates his... It's so weird to say this stuff because but his heart, his search engine, if you will, he's designed on a program called Synthetic Soul. So he operates from a place called free will, and he can basically, he can take in data like a machine, like a computer, but at the same, he can learn from it, and that is, I haven't seen that yet.
Okay, so that means you won't be able to use your instinct as a human actor?
At times, yes.
That must be quite challenging, right?
It's refreshing. It's difficult. But I try to embrace the awkwardness of it, and hopefully that reads on camera.
So for you, what motivated you to pursue this project?
I got the script, and the two things that really there were three things that really kind of made me sign on. One, the pedigree of the producers lets you know that they've been there before. This isn't their first rodeo, and they know how to get it done. My first meeting with Joel was 3 hours. I've never had a meeting that long, and in that meeting, I went from being like to this could be crazy. I mean, we were like sitting around. I was like, "Oh, that's crazy. Oh man, that's so odd." And then, but what if you know what I mean? And it became like just fun. It just became fun and interesting. And so that was great. And then the script, the material, what was on the page, and the ability that this character has, and like there's just such a big canvas that can be painted with this guy, and that is every actor's dream when you start thinking about the possibility of taking on a character for 5 to 7 years. And then as an actor, I've never been asked to play a robot. I couldn't even get vampire status in underwear. So as an actor, I was like, yeah, this is different. And, interestingly enough, I was just telling someone else this earlier. At first, I was like, he's never going to have like a love interest. Where can he really go? I don't know. This is before my meeting with Joel. And when I started thinking about a love interest, I stopped because he does operate from a place of free will. Who knows? And instantly, I just became interested.
So in your, in the development, this is something that's really like kind of never been done before. So, certainly not in this way, not on TV. And as an actor, you want to be able to develop, background and everything like that. So, how much, have you been able to bring in your own development of the character that you can kind of go to the writers and the producers and say, oh, hey, this is an idea. Can we do this? And like, how many ideas have you been kind of sliding to them, hoping that they bring that in?
Well. It started on the pilot, obviously, that 3-hour meeting with Joel as well, just like collaborating with him on, is he more of a Mac or is he a PC? You know what I mean? Because we were talking about that in the meeting, and I was like, you know why I switched to Mac? Because I couldn't stand opening up my PC and waiting for it to like go through the virus protection and everything else. You turn on the Mac and it's like, okay, we're ready to go. And I like to think of Dorian in that way, and that he's kind of the new, improved, less baggage version of a synthetic. And more importantly, unlike the MX-43s, you kind of have to reckon with him. You can't just tell him what to do because he has an opinion, and that's fun. That's fun to play. That's interesting, and I think it's going to be interesting to see where he goes with that opinion. Now, obviously, his opinion pisses off John Kinnick a lot. So we'll see where that goes.
What kind of, I don't know, superhuman power or quality that your character has?
It's going to grow. It's going to grow. From the pilot, he has some capabilities that he's able to do. In the second episode, you see even more of them, and in the third, you're going to see you'll see more come around increment. The thing is, he's not indestructible. That was the one thing that I talked to Joel about that was important to me. You know, he's not indestructible. He can be destroyed. It's not like he can't be killed. He can be thrown out of a car and rolled over by a truck too. You know what I mean? So it can happen. He can be destroyed, and that's important because that gives you if he feels danger, you as an audience will feel that as well. And I think we gotta have that. We have to have that.
Is there any sort of specific outfits or anything that you're pushing for as we are at Comic-Con so that next year you can come and see people dressed up like you?
Listen, I was so pleased at my wardrobe fitting to realize that Dorian has one outfit. And Carl has gone back, since we've been in Vancouver, he's gone back and had to do multiple fittings. They haven't called me once. It's the first, and I'm like this. It's great. One outfit, it is what it is, and it's his uniform. Now, that doesn't mean you won't see Dorian in something else, especially as he develops more human characteristics. You'll see him probably try and feel himself a little bit. You know what I mean? I can't say what happened in the original draft, it's too much. But anyway, there was an element of that in the original draft where at the end he added a little bit of swagger to his game, and it was kind of interesting to see because he gave you a glimpse of where he could go. And so yeah, his uniform is what we're going to see. And yes, it would be, if I came back next year and I saw people dressed like Dorian, I'd be beyond flattered. Beyond flat. I think that would be the coolest thing ever. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much.